Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Muji ji ki jai. I'm so happy you could join in. And if this is your first time in online Satsang, the way to ask questions is through the chat window. Oh, Hans has been looking at the recording of Saturday Satsang. Yes. Namaste, namaste. We will not be free in the future. We will not even be free at the end of Satsang. We are already free now. Freedom is always in the right now. Right now, you cannot show me bondage. In the moment, you are never bound. Actually, it's not even accurate to say in the moment. You see? Because the moments are all arising within you in the timeless now. It's only the personal voice. It says that I am almost free. It's only the personal voice which says not yet. This one that is wanting freedom is not you. This one that wants anything at all is not you. The one with desires and aversions is not you. The one who has ideas about what freedom is like is not you. The one with preconceived notions of what freedom looks like is not you. The one with the freedom checklist is not you. And the one who is applying the freedom checklist not just to yourself but to everyone around you, including the master, is not you. Welcome, welcome. You see, one of my teachers in the past had said, I believe it was Sri Sri Ravi Shankar who said once, very beautiful. He said, first you call me a guru and then you tell me exactly what I must do. You see? That if you are my guru, you must be like this, you must not be like this, you must speak like this, you must not do this. You see? So he said, who is the guru then? If the student is going to tell the guru what is to be done, then who is the guru? So not only do we employ this freedom checklist for our own self, we are always using it for others around us as well and for the master also. You see, so this is like I believe one of you, maybe Amrita, posted on the Sangha of Being group that I missed the satsang yesterday, so I wasn't there, but I heard that someone asked Guruji why there are so many women around you. What a stupid thing! I mean, I usually don't speak like this, but what a stupid thing. So we have so many preconditions even for the master, isn't it? Oh, the master has started asking for money now. Oh, the master is surrounded by women now. All this rubbish, and it's our own doubt, you see? It's our own doubt which is projecting in this way. Usually, what I've seen is that when we have a issue or a desire or an aversion for something, we start projecting it to everyone around us. So, if we are going to tell the master how to behave and what to do, then who is the master actually? It is our own mind which is getting the better of us in these subtle ways. Okay, let's catch up on the chat. Amaya says with you in spirit, but we'll have to catch the recording. Yes, she's having some internet trouble today. That's fine. Looney says only one thing on my list. Is there a smell of a person? Yes. This is okay. This is like what Papaji spoke about the vigilance. See, even my master speaks about the feeling that if there is a feeling that there is no arrogance here, then that can also be arrogance. So, this little bit of vigilance, but not as a practice, you see, just a normal, very natural checking in once in a while to see whether the monkey mind is back and it's sitting on the throne or not, but not as a obsessive practice. Life will tell us anyway. Life will tell us anyway. Because when suffering, when some resistance is coming, it is pointing you to a belief which is still carried. So life will anyway tell us, but it's good to have this little bit of checking in, like Loni said, the smelling of the person. Where is this coming from? Is this still coming from a personal identity? Am I still referring to myself as the imagined one? You see, not conversationally. So I don't want any of you becoming the Advaita police and going around policing people. Only in terms of just seeing, not in terms of the words which are being used, but just checking where they are coming from. Is it still coming from a personal identity of desire or aversion, need, wanting to become something, wanting to get something? Because, like we said, the ego's mantra is what's in it for me. So, that's the main mantra of the ego, isn't it? The main mantra of the ego is what's in it for me. And the secondary mantra is me first. So, not only is it constantly looking for something, but it also wants to be the only one, or at least the first one to get there. You see? And these tendencies are so clearly seen, almost childish in a way, isn't it? When we see beings saying, I am free but you are not, it's just spiritual ego. Not only does it want this concept of freedom, it wants to be the only one that can get there. It wants a specialness in this. Lizelle says he is wisdom and grace. Yes, of course. Radhana says Amrita had once posted about so many women devotees, disciples around Gautam Buddha. Was a lovely article, Lance. I'll have a look. I didn't see that one. Ustreamer 52 says Om silence. And Amrita says something got censored, said that these were men in their previous birth who couldn't muster enough devotion like the women around Buddha, and hence were born as women just to experience such intense devotion. It's very beautiful, but even this explanation is not required, you see. Even this is not required. The master only sees pure being. And Aradhana says, yes, love that story. Amrita, thanks for sharing again. Ustreamer952 says, Anantaji, it's. And something is getting censored. Let me see if we can turn the censor off. It's much mental chaos today. One look into your eyes and all is quiet and peaceful. Thank you. Namaste, Ajnani. Jay. Love you too, Atma. Very good. Namaste, Ishani. Stacy says, such quiet bliss to be in your presence. This presence is your own presence. Lizelle says, had a difficult incident yesterday, was faced with a lot of verbal abuse from my mother and wasn't able to stay as the self. Contracted into the person and fought back while having a mental disappointment at that. Was having a mental disappointment. Whatever thoughts you might be believing and whatever words might be getting used. First, drop the belief that you became the person. You were still only the witnessing itself. You were still the awareness alone. And this awareness was watching this play of consciousness. See, there is great beauty in this, and let's spend a little bit of time on this because it seems to be something confusing for many. No matter what incident happens in your life, you are always the awareness alone. This awareness is untouched by any event. And when we refer back to memory of something of the past, then it is like referring to a dream that we had last night. See, consciousness is the only decision maker. And consciousness is one consciousness. It's very good to come back into the present moment and let go of all thoughts of the past. Otherwise, it is a double whammy, you see. Not only does the trickster trick consciousness itself into behaving like a person in those moments, then it tricks the consciousness into believing that it is guilty also of something that happened in the past. That's why I often used to say that even if anger had come, at least let go of the resentment. So, momentarily, many things can arise. Sometimes it comes with such force that it just plays out in this way, isn't it? And some of you have witnessed that anger can arise here also. Amrita and some of you will remember that there was a policeman in Rishikesh, isn't it? Who was trying to create obstacles for Mujji's satsang, and so much anger arose here. But it cannot last, it cannot stay, and there is no resentment here. It is allowed to come and go. There is no guilt also. So every moment fresh. Now, now, now. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Aradhana said, "Thank you, Ananta, for the right pointing. The love for beautiful stories too surrendered here at your feet. Just beingness, thank you." No, it's fun. It's fun with the stories as long as we don't give too much reality to all of these. Louis says, "Father, noticing some thoughts are not even words, yes. And sometimes it feels, okay, just jumped up. And sometimes it feels just like a continuous blur with no standout thoughts, yes. Even Guruji speaks about this when he says that even these energies, energy construct of thoughts, will seem to run out of words. They run out of words and just seem like some energy is there, like a thought energy, but you cannot figure out what they are saying anymore. And this is very good actually. They've run out of words now and just trying to captivate you with the energy itself. As you keep letting go, you will find that you will be free from even this wordless thoughts. And we cannot really explain these things, isn't it? Only once you see that it is happening like this, you can tell that this is what it was. Atma says, "Yes, Father, I see you, and through you I see myself." Very beautiful. Lizelle says, "The whole time I was saying to myself, She is yourselves. What are you doing? But sometimes in this conflict, you see, it happens that it seems like there are two sides. One side wants to say that she is a person, the other side wants to say that she is also consciousness. And sometimes in this inner conflict, we seem to make it worse. You see? So if we can remember anything at all, it is to remember to let go of all thoughts. If anything is to be remembered, it is just to simply let go of all thoughts, even the thought of the other being consciousness as well. You see, but if freedom is what is there in your heart, then what you will find that even this event, which seems so uncomfortable, you will see it to be grace, because it will point you to some beliefs which are still held and they have some juice. So look for that identity. Don't worry so much about what events occurred. Look for the identity or the buttons that got pushed still, and surrender those buttons in the fire of satsang. Know that if it can still get pushed, it is untrue. It is just another belief, just another concept. Oh, now don't look at this as an unfortunate event. Look at this also as grace. Coincidentally, just the other day, I was telling someone that mothers seem to be the best people to fight with. They seem to be the best people to fight with because they have so much unconditional love that they cannot hold on to the resentment. They are the most helpless actually. As a parent, I can say this also now that as parents, we are so helpless because we love our kids unconditionally. And in this helplessness, our true power comes from. So, if you must contemplate something, don't contemplate how the events occurred. Contemplate what is the residual identity which still must be here, which allowed the buttons to get pressed. And surrender those bits of identity now in the fire of satsang. That's more than enough. And hence, all these opportunities, which we called suffering in the past, are now opportunities to show us what is still held on to and can now be discarded. Atma says, at your feet. Ustreamer 579 says, soundless lips move, light reflects animation, though peacefully quiet with no sound. Very good. Amrita says, yes. Loni says, once an astrologer told me that I would not be happy. I would not be happy in this life. That I would not be happy in this life. I realized that these words must have arisen from consciousness and may indicate I will not be completely free of the person in this life. Oh, that hurt so much. I have been crying so much since I heard it on the tape recorder this weekend. So the astrologer must be speaking to the person, and no person can truly be happy because they cannot find everlasting happiness in this ever changing concept of personhood. See, we say that people change because a person is what? Is just the sum total of all your beliefs at this point. A person is only the sum total of all your beliefs at this point. And beliefs keep changing. So, can we rely on this ever changing imaginary entity for some happiness? We just cannot. Just cannot. So, the astrologer was talking to the person. But are you this person? Are you just the bundle of these beliefs? See, this astrologer can say this to 99% of humanity. 99.9% of humanity. Because happiness in the life of the person is just these small wins that we speak about that the ego gives you once in a while just to keep you interested in the game. It is just keeping you interested in the game by showing you these glimpses of personal happiness. So, for this astrologer, it is very simple to predict. He will be right 99.99% of the time. But he is not speaking about you. Because you have seen that this person never existed. You see? So, is awareness saying that I am unhappy now? Has the witnessing found a way to become happy or unhappy now? No. The witnessing is the ever present witnessing, even of all these forces and emotions, completely untouched even by the burning of the entire universe. If the entire universe was to burn in this moment, it would not touch the witnessing. It could not make the witnessing unhappy. So, truly, it is not about what the astrologer was referring to yourself as. What are you referring to yourself as? All of life is about you. Very good. Lizelle says, thank you, Ananta. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I will remember that. Yes. Thank you, thank you. Very welcome, my dear. Namaste, Bhagwati ji. Good. Lizelle says, I am in a video satsang laughing with Muji, and it's called Nothing, Nothing, Nothing. Yes. And you just reminded me of the master's words. I love you for that. Love you too. Ustreamer579 says, attention and belief mixed with moods is a funny somethingness. Yes. Yet, one is not an astrology reading, or palm reading, or tarot reading. All passing, made something, be other, it is not. Yes. It does not apply to you. It only applies to the character in this video game that you are playing. Lizelle says, I saw it was grace because the buttons were pushed. Now it is grace that I am able to bring it to you and find your amazing pointing. I am so grateful to you. Yes. With this openness, as we go about life, we see everything is just an opportunity in every moment to find our true self. We used to say this often in satsang earlier, isn't it? That in Chinese, in the Chinese language, I believe the word for crisis and opportunity is the same. So, what appears as a crisis when we're living as a person, when it is truly freedom that we desire, we see that it is not a crisis. It is an opportunity to transcend the falls, an opportunity to see ourselves for what we really are. Ustreamer 837 says, Namaste, Father and Sangha. Just joining, welcome, welcome. And Rashmi says that 837 is Rashmi. Seems to be some sort of a miracle, but good. She's on two computers, I know, I know. Vivi says, Namaste at your feet. So good to have you. Zoe says, big fear and feeling of being very unsettled came up last night. Yes. And I saw that it was fear of change that I have held all my life. It was hard not to run away, but I sat with it very good and it dissolved. Beautiful. That's a beautiful report. Very good. And something is coming up, you can just let it come and know that if it has come, then it will go. In our resistance, it stays. Aradhana says, yes, moms, in bracket parents, are the best punching bags, blotting papers, shock absorbers, grounding agents, security blankets. Yes, it's very beautiful, isn't it? And so he says, laying any remainder at your holy feet. So beautiful. Don't convince anything in life to make a person out of you. You see what I'm saying? All this will come in the Maya, and Maya will try to make a person out of you. These thoughts will try to make a person out of you. But you can never become just this mere person. You can only pretend. So, my work would have been difficult if actually you were able to become a person. Then I would actually have some work to do. But because I know that all of you are only pretending, and some of you are still pretending, therefore my work is the easiest. All I have to do is say, show me. Where is this person which you are referring to yourself as? And I know that when you look, this game is over. It's almost like we started playing this game as children, and we were playing this game of Doctor Doctor, and somewhere along the game became so much fun that we forgot that we were playing Doctor Doctor. Then one of us said, okay, enough of this game. Who am I really? And saw that this doctor was just a imagined identity we took on to play. You see? And this one who figured it out first, seemingly first, is now trying to shake everyone out of this game. Just look, you are not the doctor. We started playing this game, but now it's over. You're crying too much in this game. This game is no longer fun. You see? So, a master will never try to shake anyone who still seems to be having a lot of fun in the game. In the ups and downs of the game, they seem to be having a lot of fun. So, the master will not try to shake those out. Only try to shake the ones who are saying that I'm tired of this. There's too much suffering here. And you say, you're not really this one. You're not really this one. We started playing together a long time ago, but now I found when I looked that I was never this. And that is why I'm imploring you also to look. Were you ever this identity? And I know for a fact that you were not. Because I was not. And it's the same. Stacy says, thank you for that beautiful pointing about how mothers are the best to fight with. Yes. I surrender any identification left in relationship with my mother in this holy fire at your feet. Loni says, thank you, Ananta. This person doesn't exist, and awareness is completely untouched, even by astrology. Definitely by astrology. Very good. Loni says, just needed to expose this banana thought because I started to believe it so much. It's very good that you brought it to satsang and burnt it. You see, this seems to be this is the first time I'm hearing this, but this seems to be like a multi-million dollar idea, isn't it? You should become an astrologer like this and tell everyone that you will not be happy. 99.9% success you will have. You will be the most successful astrologer. Just tell everyone that even if happiness seems to come, it will not last. You will not be happy. Tell me, as an astrologer, will you not be a massive success in this world, in this realm of humanity, where so few are really seeming to look for the truths? It's so funny. Louis says, Father, many times I have found myself crying like a child from arguments with sisters. They are all many years older, and I feel there are emotions not even conscious with them, as they must have been created as a small child before they all left home. Yes. It's a good place to see what is not even conscious. Conscious. Family, I mean. It's very good to see this, and we can in this way have compassion for them. We can have compassion for them. Always remember also that if there was no person here, then there is no person anywhere. Although in our close relationships, that is difficult to do. And very easily, we seem to drop the idea that there is a person here, but remember that there is no person there also. And in this remembering, you will not get the feeling of a sense of specialness or a spiritual ego or something like that. It is very good. Han says, thank you for now, Anantaji. I will leave you to yourself now. Thank you so much. Very good. Cornelia says astrology can tell when this person, me, will die, but I am never even born. Yes. It cannot refer to you as awareness. What prediction can you make about awareness? See, the only thing you can ever say about awareness is that it is aware. And that's not much of a prediction. Looney says, why am I still pretending to be a person when I want freedom so much? When the taste of pure presence is so sweet? When life without person is so fresh and beautiful? And for this, we have the simple answer for you. Just let go of your next thought right now. That is it actually. Because it is only the person who says, why am I still pretending to be a person? You see this trick? It creates a journey out of nothing. Just let go of your next thought and show me the person. Can you do that? Rashmi says, so beautiful you are, Father. You too, my dear. Jyoti says, yes, it is difficult in close relationship. Yes. But now see that as you are letting go of your thoughts, don't give the idea of difficulty also. For you, you can see that this was true, but now it is let go of. Louis says, even while sitting with these strong emotions, it felt a little ridiculous for consciousness to pretend to be fearful. Okay, so let's look at this also a little more closely. Because we say that consciousness is the one doer, maybe sometimes this kind of confusion can come. So, what is happening is that consciousness is the light through which this movie is being projected. Now, if the content of the movie is less than pleasant, does that mean the light is actually affected in any way? You see? So, the light is just playing this game. Being, can you say that being is touched in any way by any of this content? So because this light is the only thing which is projecting the movie, we can say it is the one doer. But doesn't mean that it is involved in this in any real way. It's only projecting this person idea also for itself to enjoy. Doesn't mean that it is actually touched by something. Only in satsang, in joke, we can say that consciousness is suffering or something like that. See, or consciousness is fearful. It actually doesn't mean anything. Because if consciousness actually had the ability to become any of these things, then we would all be in big trouble actually. It is just pure being itself at the core. Just that the movie is playing out like this, the appearance is playing out like this. See, I hope this is, I know it's a little bit subtle, but I'm sure for you it is clear. Louis says, Father, I mean, it is a very good place for us to see what is unconscious in us. Yes, very good. Still something which is left to be transcended. Very good. When family pushes our buttons, yes. And therefore, this seeming suffering now becomes an opportunity. Exactly. Very good. They seem to be able to push the deeply unconscious buttons, which is good, exactly. Isn't there so much gratitude because of this? So that's why somebody, I feel D had posted once, or someone had posted once, that if you start believing that you are enlightened, spend a weekend with your family. It'll show you all the buttons which still can be pushed. It's very good for our arrogance. It's very good. Naomi says, "Thank you, dearest Anantaji. Just what I needed to hear. There is no person interacting with the negative words said by others, especially family." Yes, it's very good. There is no person. No matter what the event is, what the appearance is, there is never any person here. Lizelle says, "This is the most amazing satsang. Thank you, Anantaji and Sangha. I feel so much love for you all. So much love to you too." Zoe says, "Laughing, laughing, laughing, tears, ever yours, beloved father." Same, same, my dear. Good. So, unless there are some burning questions, we can spend 5 minutes together in silence. Loni says, "When I try to let go of the next thought, of believing the next thought, I seem to think even more thoughts." Yes. Don't try anything at all. Be completely open to all thoughts. All of us can do this now. Now we can do. Be completely open to all the thoughts. Let everything come. Don't have any sense of resistance at all. Don't have any resistance at all to any thought from coming. Just let them come and let them go. Don't give it your belief. Attention might still go to them, and it's okay initially if attention goes. Just don't give it your belief. No matter what it is saying, don't invest your belief in it. Be completely open and natural. Don't make a practice out of this. This is your natural state. This is the effortless state. This is the end of effort. This is the end of sadhana. This is the end of practice. Just let all thoughts arise and go. Don't even be concerned by how many are coming. Let them come and let them go. You are not the thinker of your thoughts. The thoughts are just appearances which are coming and going. Ustreamer 885 says, "So happy to be here now." Thank you, Ananta slash Sangha. Thank you so much for being here. Very good. Naomi has to leave. She says that her connection is failing. Much love. Much love to you too. I love you too. Thank you all so very much for being in this beautiful satsang. Mujiji ki jai. So much love to all of you. May the Master's grace continue to guide your every step. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prema.